Greetings, fellow Whovians. Well, time for another Doctor Who episode review, and today we're going to be going to the planet of the Daleks. So, here we go. The Doctor has been wounded after being shot by the Master. Joe Grant manages to help the Doctor into the TARDIS, where he uses the telepathic circuits to send a message to the Time Lords before he collapses. Delirious, he falls into a coma, both his hearts beating once every 10 seconds. Jo dictates into the TARDIS log, a portable recording device that she has seen this healing state before, and that the TARDIS is moving, being controlled remotely by the Time Lords. When the TARDIS comes to a stop, Jo activates the external scanners to see some plants outside block the viewer by spraying a thick sap-like liquid at it. If the Doctor is still catatonic, Jo leaves the ship to explore the surrounding jungle. The plants spray sap on her as she walks by, and a bit of it gets on her hand. I'm not quite sure that's good or bad, but I guess we'll find out. As Jo explores, the TARDIS is rapidly being covered by sap, which is hardening into a shell around it. When the Doctor awakens, he finds himself sealed in and the oxygen in the TARDIS cabin rapidly being used up. Activating the emergency oxygen supply, he discovers the tank's almost empty and starts to suffocate from lack of air. Jo, in the meantime, discovers a spacecraft in the jungle with a dead pilot. Taron and his men find the TARDIS and the chip hardened sap from its stores, managing to drag a nearly asphyxiated Doctor out into the open air. The Doctor thanks them and notes that he finds them familiar. When the men explain that they are from the planet Skaro, the Doctor recognizes that they are Thals and tells them he was on Skaro many years ago with his 3 companions, Susan, Ian, and Barbara. The Doctor is taken to the Dalek base for interrogation and put in the same cell as Kodal. The Doctor tries to use his sonic screwdriver to open the cell door, but to no avail. He and Kodal then conceive of modifying the components of the TARDIS log to emit a radio frequency that will jam Dalek control impulses. Meanwhile, Jo is being cared for by the Spiridon who found her. His name is Wester, and he is one of a group of his people who are trying to fight back against the Daleks. He cures her a fungal infection with salve, and tells Jo that the Doctor and Kodal have been captured and taken to the Dalek base. Jo is determined to try and free them, even though Wester says that if the Daleks use them for their experiments, they are better off dead. The group flees down the corridors with the Daleks pursuing them. Finally they get away, making their way back to the cooling chamber. Once there, the Doctor asks Rebek and Taron to barricade the entrance, only finds a way to keep the Dalek army from reviving. He and Kodal decide to set explosive in the wall of the chamber containing the Dalek army, which is slowly coming to life. In the meantime, the Dalek Supreme, a member of the Dalek Supreme Council, has arrived in a spaceship to oversee the final stages of the operation and exterminates the section leader for its incompetence. Jo and Latep finally arrive at the cooling chamber and use their bomb to destroy a squad of Daleks before joining the others. As another patrol comes through, the bomb set in the chamber wall explodes. Molten Ice rushes out to flood the chamber, freezing the Dalek army for centuries to come. The group escapes over a ramp that leads to the surface while the rest of the Daleks abandon the base, which is filling with molten ice. The group makes its way to the Dalek Supreme's spacecraft. The Doctor asks Taron not to glorify what has happened, nor make war sound like an adventure. The Thals were a peaceful people, and he would hate to see them change. Taron and Rebek promise, and the Thals enter the spacecraft and leave for Skaro. The Doctor and Jo run back to the TARDIS, pursued by the Dalek Supreme and the other Daleks. They dematerialize just as the Daleks open fire. The Dalek Supreme orders operations to recover the invasion force and contact the Dalek High Council for a rescue ship. The Daleks have been delayed, but will never be defeated. Whew, yeah, so we get some more Daleks in the story, but hey, that's what you get when the story is called Planet of the Daleks. So, anyway, let's check out some production and continuity elements of this story. The story was originally commissioned as Planet of the Daleks. During production, it was briefly changed to Destination Daleks. Episodes 2 and 4 do not feature a reprise of the previous episode's cliffhanger ending, while the reprise episodes 3 and 5 are Though this latter technique was commonplace in 1960s episodes, This time in the program's history, it was an approach almost never used. Huh. The Dalek Supreme in this story was a modified prop from the film Daleks, Invasion Earth 2150 AD that had been given to Terry Nation. Its eye stalk has been replaced with a conventional torch, which flashes when it speaks. Interesting. For many years, Episode 3 of the serial existed in the BBC archives only as a black and white 16mm telerecording. A 625-line color PAL transmission master videotape for that episode was wiped for use by the BBC in 1976. Episode 3 was restored to full color in 2008, using a combination of computer colorization by Legend Films and software developed by the Color Recovery Working Group. This version of was released on DVD in 2009. The color masters for the other 5 episodes are still extant. Brendan Horsfall had previously appeared as Emil Gulliver in The Mind Robber and as first Time Lord in the War Games. He appeared once more in The Deadly Assassin as Chancellor Goth. All these serials were directed by David Maloney. Prentice Hancock had appeared as a reporter in Spear from Space and returned as Salamar in Planet of Evil and as the Shreve Captain in the Ribos operation. So, overall, a pretty good story, and hey, I love me some Daleks. So, overall, I give Planet of the Daleks 4 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, join me next time as we see Joe's departure in The Green Death. So, until then, this is Hoovy and Queen saying, oh my giddy out! When I say run, run! I've reversed polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a chili, baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.